Life's toughest moments can lead to your greatest transformation. Look at my story. I'm Jacob Rettenberger. Founded High Desert Higher Purpose. Founded it because through my struggles, I want to be able to help people that are struggling themselves and promote real change in their lives. And I've suffered a lot of loss and a lot of self-caused trauma and just been in some bad places in my life and I just would hate for my experiences to go to waste and not be able to help somebody else through them. So, I even look at it as if even if I help one or two people, that's good enough for me because life is hard and to bring yourself out of a mental struggle where you're stuck in a bad place mentally and in a dark hole is one of the hardest things to navigate out of. I mean, it takes so much time and support that if I can just inspire that in somebody else, then my purpose is fulfilled. um you know I I was in construction my whole life. Quit school when I was young, got my GED, had three beautiful girls. But then I always had something missing. There was always a hole missing from my life, and I filled that with, whether it was substances or with, toxic women or just whatever made me feel good at the time. And, I found over the last few years that that hole was really stemming from me not having an identity. I'd lost my identity over, the years and through prison and through just, working and, I just never knew myself. I never fully developed, even out of school because I went to prison at a really young age and that affected me, all my developmental years where I should be out, you know, building healthy communication skills with people and healthy relationship skills. And, you know, it, it stunted my growth to where, even into my mid to late 30s, I was still, at like a 14, 15-year old's level because of the drug use and because of, prison and not being able to experience the things that, a normal person is able to when they grow up and go through high school and all that. So, it really affected me in a lot of ways. And